everybody, to the Sticks and Stones Women's Talk Show. Thank you so much for tuning in for another great episode of our Women's Talk. My name is Muriel, and I am here with my co-host, and they will introduce themselves.
Hi everyone, I'm Eartha. Nice to be back with everyone again.
Hi, this is Modeline. It's good to be with everyone.
Yes, yes. So we're excited to be back again in the studio. Right now we are in the midst of a global pandemic. So it's been a while since we've been in the studio, but it's fun to be back. It's it's a little different, but we're excited that we still have this opportunity to do so. And like we said, we're in the midst of pandemic. I think right now we're in either phase 3 or phase 2. You guys remember what phase we're on?
It shifts back and
exactly.
forth.
That's why I'm like so confused right now in regards to the phases.
You never
but
know.
either way, we're still in a global pandemic. Things are not fully open. Things are not fully back to normal. But you know what? In the midst of it, we're pretty sure that there's a lot of positive things that's been going on. We know a lot about the negativity. There's been a lot of things going on in regards to politics, race. There's been so many deaths, whether it be personal because of this, virus that's been going around, or just other things. And so we can go on and on in regards to the amount of negative and just off-track things that have caught us all off guard that's going on right now in the midst of the pandemic. But we just wanted to address the elephant in the room, and we just want to be able to encourage everyone to be able to just see the light. Something positive despite everything that's negative that's been going on. So I'm gonna start off by just sharing something that I feel like is positive that we can take away in the midst of this pandemic. Even though it's been hectic, it's been crazy, I think one of the positive things that I would take away with this as believers is now that we're in the midst of pandemic, a lot of people are homebound. We're stuck at home. We can't really go a lot of places that we would have liked to, especially because the summer just passed. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people didn't get to do the things that they want to do. But I think one of the positive things that I could take away from this, for us as believers, I think we could take out some time. I think a lot of times we've been so busy, and this is a moment where we can just kind of slow down and pause a little bit. Having more time to spend with God, whether it be in prayer, in scripture, reading, studying more, honing in more within, taking a look and examining ourselves. And I feel like sometimes life gets so busy and we forget to do that self-care and check ourselves mentally, spiritually, emotionally. So I would say that's one positive thing that I would take away, that I've been able to benefit from. And I think that some as well have been able to do the same. Modeline, what about you? A positive thing that you could say would highlight in the midst of this pandemic?
Well, I definitely agree with you. I have had some more time just to be able to rest.
That's good.
From everything that's been going on. It's nice that now that I'm no longer commuting, I'm sleeping more.
Yeah.
So it's not just the spiritual rest, but also the physical rest of being able to sleep in an extra hour every morning.
Yeah, and saving on gas, right?
Yes. So much.
Of course, we're not using our vehicles. Gas is like way low. But I'm gonna miss those days.
Enjoy it while you can.
But that's good. So you would say is rest? Is that your?
Yes.
Awesome. I like that too. Rest. I hope you guys been getting a lot of rest. No bags under the eyes.
Yes.
I hope y'all been getting your rest.
See how fresh we look?
Exactly.
Tells you something.
What about you, Eartha?
I think along the same line, I think now I'm beginning to appreciate more how our bodies were created in a way to work with us and for us. Like now I'm understanding the whole having your whole body, its immune system work for you. I mean, I know we're wearing masks, we're trying to protect ourselves, but you don't even know what your body's exposed to, but it's constantly fighting for you. So I take it as a fact that, I take care of your body and it will in turn take care of you, because you have a little factory in here that God created in its perfection and it's working for you. Definitely. So the better you take care of it. So now I'm realizing in this pandemic, the more reason to take better care of our bodies, because you never know what's going to happen.
That's true.
So that's a positive. I'm thinking, take better care of our bodies.
That's good. That's a good point, that our bodies are constantly fighting and having to wear that mask. I can say I'm still not used to this whole mask thing.
Yeah, man.
But, we got to do what we got to do. We got to do what we got to do. So we just wanted to do that quick little, just a little encouragement, because there's been a lot going on, and I think sometimes it is hard to be able to find positivity in the midst of so much negativity. So I hope you guys are blessed. We'll definitely plan on having a show by itself, actually, where we can point out just a lot of positive things that we can take from this. But we won't stay here too long. I want to be able to move on to the next point, which is basically going on to our topic for today. Can I get a drum roll, please? Today we are talking about the bro code. I know many people have heard about the bro code, but it doesn't stop there. We're also going to be talking about sister code. And I think not only me, but I'm pretty sure you guys don't really hear much about sister codes as much as we hear about the bro code. So we put together a list. We have about 10 points for each of these. And basically, these are a few points that we've got from some articles. It's not the whole thing. A lot of them overlap, but we want to be able to point out some of these bro codes and sister codes. And let me give you the definition first. So in regards to the bro and sister code, it is the unspoken etiquette of friendships or even with strangers for males and females. All right, that's the unspoken etiquette for friendship between strangers or friends or family for both male and female. So it's kind of like one of those things you just gotta know, all right? And if you're not, you're gonna just be socially awkward. And we wanna avoid people from being socially awkward after we've been, released from all these social bans, right? So just a little disclaimer, we know that the Sticks and Stones Women's Talk Show is faith-based. So a lot of these points it is a worldly code as of right now, but we are gonna be getting to putting together our own code with our own, scriptures, so on and so forth, that's more biblical based. But I do want to let you know a lot of these may even overlap to that point. So let's start, sisters. Let's start. Because I think a lot of these points are very funny, but it's real. But we want to talk about it. All right, Maudlene, why don't you go for the first one?
Okay. Don't date his sister or mother.
No.
That is huge, especially in light of the recent entanglement.
Oh,
was it called?
snap.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
That came out of nowhere.
So that's just a big no-no. As we were discussing it, one of the questions that came up, does it matter, especially mom is definitely a big no-no, no matter what.
No matter what.
But as far as the sister, does it matter if the person is within, actually, was it
The mother. We were saying that for the mother, like, because let's say he has a friend, but if it's on the age, it makes a difference, the age group. If the friend is like a mentor and older, is it okay for that mentor to date his mother? Because that mentor's almost like a father figure, And even where do you draw the line?
Yeah.
What's the age range where it's like
That's
it's
interesting.
absolutely no, right?
Exactly.
And that's that whole entanglement. Because what we were finding out is that was her son's friend. You know what I mean? So we're saying, is it okay? But at the same time, we're saying if you have a mentor, technically they're your friend, but you don't hang out with them like you would do with people on your age.
So they're not a bro.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's what I think we drew the line.
So now, were they a bro before they were interested in the mom, or?
We said that too.
Or did you become my mentor because you saw my mother, or did you become my mentor because you had pure intentions of really being my mentor?
Well, we hit on the intentions factor too. Because I know, Maudlene, I don't know if that's the part. Because I said on the mom, it's no. Like, especially if you're my age range, no, you cannot be looking at my mom like that.
Right.
But if you're older than me, you're my mentor, okay, I can see it depending on what your intentions are. But if you're in my age group, you cannot look at my mother. That's a big no-no.
That is a big no-no.
But if you're my age group, my sister, it depends. If your intentions are good, then okay, because I know you're my friend, I know you, I can either say yeah or nay. But if you're just trying to tap that or hate it and quit it, absolutely not.
That bro relationship / mentorship is gonna cut short real quick. If that's the case.
You also gotta be mature though. If things go south, your friendship is on the line now. You gotta accept the consequences of that.
That's interesting. Well, I don't know. Like, what if you broke their heart? Like, whoa, how are we gonna maintain that type of
You're
relationship?
not my bro no more. You know what I mean?
That's-
My sister is on, her heart is on the line.
And I think that's one of the main reasons why the best thing to do is just don't do it.
Exactly. Agreed. Don't do it. A big X right there. Big X. Just stay away from that. That's a little sticky situation that we don't want to get into. All right. So for us, that's one. Don't date his sister nor his mother. That's a no-no. I'll go with number 2. Don't date his ex. Yes, even with his permission. That's a good one. I think that's similar. That's going to overlap with the girl one. Because I think that's weird. That's weird. Don't date his ex. What you got to say about that, Eartha?
Well, it gets a little odd because you guys are around the same circle. So you had your ex, something happened while you guys broke up.
Right.
But now you have your friend trying to date them. Now that person's trying to be back in the circle again. It's a little awkward because now you're going to be around the same circle of friends. It gets a little awkward.
Yeah.
So I think that's one. And I know with, especially with world folks, we Christian folks, we live, sex after marriage. But with world folks, we know people are having sex, before marriage.
Yeah.
Do you really want your friend to be like, oh yeah, I've been with her?
That's true. That's true.
I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to know what you guys are doing
That is
behind the
true.
scenes. You know what I mean? If now especially people who are jealous, every time they look at you, they're gonna be like, you were with my girl. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
So it's
I
like sloppy seconds, they say.
Oh.
That's what they call it. I'm just being real.
And even if he said with his permission, even though the person didn't give their permission, they're not. Sometimes there's still hurt there.
Right. It's not
say-
genuine. It's kind of
They're
like the
still hurt.
etiquette, like to be like, oh yeah, go ahead and do it. But in reality, deep down inside, they're like, nah.
And the worst thing is, if something goes wrong, now I feel like you gotta pick sides now. You know what I mean? It's
with
like-
the ex and the friend.
Exactly. Now it's like, oh man, now I have to pick sides, and you're no longer in the circle. Am I hanging out with you or am I hanging out with my friend?
Yeah.
It just makes, I think, complicated.
It does become weird.
So
And I would say ex includes, that's, of course, in the world, they do boyfriend and girlfriend. That's even like dating, if you're engaged with somebody, or even if you were married. Like, that's sticky. That's a
it
no-no.
gets a little sticky.
What you got? You have points on that one?
I mean, I agree with Eartha, and what you don't want is old memories coming up, because that's just hurtful all around.
That's
and
true.
There's no way to avoid that.
That is true. And I think a lot of times, as women, I know we could be very emotional and so on and so forth. And I think sometimes we forget that men have emotions too. So, even though they may not express it, and I think a lot of times, even with these bro codes, I think a lot of times, even if certain things do happen, depending on your level of relationship, I think sometimes men don't even like communicate those things. Like their real feelings in the, based off of situations like, okay, if somebody did date the ex, like they'll be like, oh yeah, go ahead, no problem, ain't nothing, so on and so forth. But
Still hurt
there's
in
still
there.
some hurt in there, or maybe some, animosity, whatever it may be. Like they still feel some type of way, even though they may not say anything. But I would say he would have the complete right to feel some type of way about that. That's a no-no.
Avoid it altogether.
Altogether. If you want to keep your bro, avoid that.
Yeah.
Treat them like you want them to be, like you want to be treated.
The sloppy seconds though, that was like, whoa.
Hey, that's what they say. So we gotta be real. I'm just saying. All right, Eartha, number 3.
Okay, be honest about his faults. It's for his own good in the long run, but never tell him about it if you're fighting.
Ooh, I think we all fall victim to that.
But
That's serious.
there is a time and a place for it though.
That's true.
If he's your friend, you're gonna be. I mean, I'm not a guy. I'm just saying from what I'm saying. If you're his friend and you're gonna be honest with him, not when he's down and sad.
Yeah.
That's not the time for it. Not when both of you are angry, because you're gonna say something that
Right.
you can't take back.
Well, that reveals that if you do that when you're fighting, that shows that you were never honest with them in the beginning. Because if you just let them know that whatever the issue was, whatever the fault was, so on and so forth, then when the time comes when you're fighting, you're not bringing up something that's new to the person. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, that's something that's already been said. And so I think what happens is, and that's just human beings, when we boggle things up and we just keep things on our chest, it's not until we're upset is when we want to release it. You know what I mean? And that's where it gets a little iffy.
That's how you feel.
Right.
You
Because
know?
I think the outcome would have been completely different because you are already in a heightened state of emotion. So the way you may say it now when you're angry and you're having a fight is going to be a lot more harsher than when you could have said it another way. Even though they would have still like felt some type of way about it, but it would have felt differently. You know what I mean?
Right. And I was also saying, like, don't, even if you're gonna tell him about his fault, but you're not, I don't see guys, at least who are bros, do it publicly. They'll pull you aside.
That's good. Oh, so that's what we do.
Hey, bro.
Is that what we women do? Oh, yeah, we petty. Lord help us.
We're gonna get to that one. We break that rule in every corner.
You see, and this is the example that we trying to get here, that foundation. Because like we were saying, like we hear a lot about the bro code, but it's not really spoken with the sister code much. You know what I mean? Right. So now we need to get one together for us sisters, okay? We need one. Did you have any points with that, Maudley, before we move to the next one?
Well, I think this concept of be honest about the person's faults, but be mindful of the timing, that's universal, and that goes for all relationships.
That's good.
I'm glad that, you know, it is unspoken in the bro code, but it is something that we can apply across the board.
That's true. Now, do you think it depends on like your relationship with that person? Because I think sometimes people may think, oh, you know, there's different levels of friendship. And so there's the ones that you're really close with. There's the one that's kind of like you're cool, like you're kind of like acquaintances. And then there's some that are like, oh, I see you when I see you type thing. Like, does it depend on the level of relationship and friendship you have that you would, you know, be honest about their faults? Do you feel like you measure that?
That is a very good point.
The level of friendship determines the level of honesty.
That's good.
And how
I like
detailed
that.
you want to get
Yeah.
in what you're telling them.
And I think
That's
it
true.
depends also on the topic.
Yeah.
Because
What it's about?
Because there are certain things, if only if you're really, really close to me, that inner circle of the onion, I call it, you know,
The onion.
that I will. But if you're on the outer, you're on the peel of the onion, there are certain things I'll address, but not everything. I feel like that's some things that wouldn't be my place to tell you.
That's true.
So depending on the level of friendship.
That's good, yeah. Because most likely they have an inner circle that hopefully would
Should
tell
tell
them.
them that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But like I like what you said too. Sometimes it depends on what it is. Because sometimes it could be something that is really for the safety of the person or whatever. If you really care, it's like just a broad general thing. So it may need to be communicated, and instead of it being something that's very intimate, personal, and that can be embarrassing to the person.
Exactly.
I think those things definitely we could consider if they're not too close.
So what it is and who it is makes a big difference.
Yes. I don't know how they measure it with the bros, but that's just I don't know. That just came to mind. I just wanted to say that. All right, number 4, guys. Let's see. Tell him if he's got food in his teeth or if he needs cologne. Oh, okay. So this is like close to number 3 almost. That being honest thing. If he got food,
right on the nail.
if he got food in his teeth or if he needs cologne. I don't know about you guys, but that could be like very awkward sometimes. Like it doesn't always have to be food. Sometimes it's like something in somebody's eye or in their nose. Like, and if you in a group, if you were like with a bunch of people and it's like you don't want to draw all the attention to that person, but like they're talking and everybody's seeing them. So it's like
somebody needs to tell you something.
Yeah, sometimes you just gotta be like, you know, like I don't know, you gotta do a signal. Just what's the other one? You know, just you know, kind of I don't know. What you gotta say about that?
If you're true bros, I find that most time you have a language you speak with each other.
That's true.
That no one else gets.
That's
know?
true.
You can just do one sign. Nobody else know what you're talking about, but they got you.
Yes, that's true. That's
You
that.
know?
That's that bond you have.
Connection.
That connection.
Right, exactly.
Right. I'm pretty sure you guys have been in that situation before.
Many times.
Yeah.
And you know what?
Usually I'm the one who cannot understand the signal that
Oh, you one of those sisters. Okay. So we just gonna have to leave you embarrassed in front of all of the people.
But I think you hit it on the nail, Muriel, when you said 3 and 4 were connected. I actually think that this is actually a litmus test to actually tell who your true bros are.
Oh, that's good.
Because if we're gonna translate that now to the sister code, somebody who's a fake friend but pretending to be your friend, they're not gonna tell you you have spinach on your teeth.
Yeah.
Because especially with girls, there's that competitive nature. They're gonna let you walk around with spinach in your teeth.
That's messed up.
But it happens.
I know.
But
and
it
if you've
happens.
done that before, shame. Tis.
Right? But people who are your true friends, your true bros, they will point it out, but they'll do it in love, and
That's
they'll
true.
do it privately. So I'm saying, like, that's how you check. Oh, this person is not my friend because I had spinach in my teeth and they saw it and they never told me.
Right.
They're competing with you.
E.
You know what I mean?
But then, so that makes me ask the question, what about the person who they have spinach in their teeth, you tell them, and then they get upset at you because you tell them? I don't know if that person's not really a bro, but there are some people who are very
Easily offended?
sensitive, yes, and are easily offended. They assume that, oh, you knew about this since 2 hours ago and you're telling me now. And I'm like, no, I just saw this right now.
Yeah.
Maybe that reaction is why I never told you 2 hours. I was preparing myself.
Oh, some personal things are coming out now.
But people,
Because I think the point is that you're supposed to be looking out for each other.
Right.
That's what a true bro does.
Yeah.
And for you being on the giving end of that, like, yes, I'm looking out for you, but
Right.
some people don't know how to receive that.
I think a lot of times too, everything has to do, and I'm still learning that. Everything has to do with approach. A lot of times it's really an approach. Like, you know, we could be in a circle of people and be like, yo, you got spinach in your teeth. Like, you know, like just being like real blunt about it. And it's like, dang, you could have been more subtle about that. You know, like.
oh, we ain't cool like that.
Oh, right.
Remember what we were saying before about you could have thought you're in that inner circle and they don't see you as like that. Like, you shouldn't be telling me you're not in that position to tell me that. You know what I mean? So I guess it's that understood nature as well.
And I think it's kind of like, are we, the person who is giving that may not be close, are we open and receptive to be able to receive, to get that comeback? You know what I mean? That response, like, oh, we ain't on that level. But like, okay, at least my conscience is clear. I did what I thought was right to do, because if it was me, I would have said something.
Right. What you said is true though. How you say it is
Approach
important.
is huge.
But in general, if somebody's telling you something to better you,
Yeah.
there shouldn't be such a combative nature about it. You know
That's
what I mean?
true. Hashtag approach. Literally. That thing is everything. And that's a skill that needs to be learned.
Yes.
Okay, maybe it'll take a couple of years, whatever for you, whatever it is, that's definitely a needed thing. I'm gonna read the fifth one too, because I don't want to stay on this, because that's awkward. Like we don't got nothing to do with this. Code number 5, it's the urinal code. Should be treated as law. So that's like, if you break that, you're gonna get fined. We don't know nothing about that. So, cause y'all men's bathrooms don't have no stalls. So here it is. It says, never take the urinal directly beside someone else if there are any others available. Conversations must stop no later when the stream starts. Oh, that's real. That's real. Okay, so I've seen a men's bathroom before. Maybe like when I was young. I don't know. But yeah, that's true. Like if there's like 5 of them and you're like, I don't know, at the end, like it don't make sense that you just go right next to the person. Like, come on.
It's awkward.
There's 4 others right down there. You could have gone to the opposite end. So I guess like leave that space in between. See, that's where COVID-19 6 feet comes into play right here. Okay, they need some signs in between the urinals, but that's all I have to say about that. I don't know if that have anything to do with us, but
I think it does have something to do with us.
really? Oh, I need to hear
actually
this.
ended up being a long discussion.
No way.
It's actually, I have to say, it's my favorite one.
No.
Yes.
Okay, y'all educate me.
The thing
This is catching me by surprise, y'all.
it's funny. Urinal code, that I feel like is obvious. That's just common sense.
Right.
Like, I'm not even a guy and I know that.
Yeah.
But I think it can apply to women as well.
Okay,
When
okay.
you're in the ladies' room, please skip over one stall.
Wow, I never.
If it is possible.
That's
and I
good.
just know this from work when there are 10 stalls
Mm-hmm.
and, you know, You go in there, you go to the very last corner one.
Oh my gosh.
And the other 9 are empty, and the next lady comes in, and she comes into the one right next to you. And I'm like, lady, I don't know you. Like,
oh my gosh, that's so.
please
And you
move
see the
over.
shoes too. You be looking
And
like,
they
oh,
do recognize
that's
your
some old lady
and
shoes.
they're trying to say hello to you, and I'm like, no, please don't. That's where I wear.
That
my
is
shoes
awkward.
all the time.
All right, Eartha,
You
let
hit
educate me a little
exactly
more.
What I was thinking
Because-
of. I'm like, I don't care if you recognize my shoes. Do not call me in the bathroom.
Hey, do you have so, I don't know what they'll ask.
Eartha, is that you?
Oh my gosh, how you know my shoes though?
Okay, but I think so. You guys hit the first two I was thinking of as well. But I think altogether, I see women do that. Whether they're out, oh girl, let's go to the bathroom. Listen, stop hanging out in the bathroom.
That
It's
is
not
weird.
the women's lounge. Women like to do that. You go in there, then handle your business. Handle your business.
In and out.
bounce.
In and out.
You know what I mean?
In and out.
Because the issue that causes, this one got a little funny because I'm just going to read what I said. There are people waiting for you so they can handle their business.
That's true.
So you don't need to.
Somebody
be
gotta
there
go bad.
having a conversation when somebody is just sitting there like, when are these people going to live so I can
That's true.
handle my business?
That's true.
And I think this one, I feel like it should be common sense, but since since we're putting it on the table, I
Yes.
think we should say it.
Putting it out there.
Leave your comments to yourself. I don't care how you feel about certain things. Your comments stay inside. You know what I mean? People don't need to hear about how you feel about what's happening.
Yeah.
You know, in the situation.
That's
you know?
true.
So,
No sound effect either.
so
'Cause I know-
think some class and some maturity in that aspect, and just don't, if
Definitely.
you don't hang out in the in the women's room, you wouldn't have anything to say anyway. So.
That's true. That is true. I don't know. I didn't. I'm glad you guys brought that out because I didn't even think of that. I'm one of those people. I always go to the handicap. I don't know.
Oh, the
Oh,
one.
The big, yes, that's it. Just go. The
And
big
it's
one's
one
always at the
room.
end. Exactly.
Exactly.
The whole thing, and nobody can see your shoes unless they're like really, really being nosy. That's just weird, awkward. Okay, so like I said, we had 10 points for the bro code, but guess what, y'all? We're like 5 minutes down. We got 5 minutes left before we can, wrap this show up. But before we end this one, because we're definitely gonna do a part 2 on this, I wanna go through the points one more time. Number 1, don't date his sister or his mother. Number 2, do not date his ex, yes, even with his permission. 3, be honest about his faults. Be honest. 4, tell him if he's got food in his teeth or, something in his eyes or if he needs cologne. But be nice. But we said #approach. Approach is everything. And then last but not least, this interesting one that I did not know we would have comments on is the urinal code should be treated as law. Always, never take the urinal directly beside someone else if there are others available. That's just weird. We don't want to do that. So, guys, these are the first 5 for now. We have 5 more that we're going to do for the bro code, and we're going to continue that in our part 2. But I hope you guys have been taking notes. If there's some of these social laws that you haven't perfected or didn't know about, your sisters are giving you some tips right now, okay? And a lot of it can be overlap with females as well, like we were talking about also. So hopefully you guys will join us for the part 2 of our bro code and sister code. Thank you so much, guys, for joining us. We're so glad you were able to be a part of this conversation. God bless.